Hello everyone and welcome back to a second channel video. I'm your host Wacky TV and Wacky is here, whatever the fuck my intro normally is. I've already forgotten it. I've forgotten my own intro to my own channel. That's probably because in the last video I had some like anime thing pop up on the screen like nya nya ichina singambata. By the way, that video got claimed, so no money for this guy despite the fact this channel isn't monetized. But this channel is kind of monetized, members are a thing, and if you want to be a member then yeah, that will help a lot. You'll get exclusive videos that I don't normally post, videos on the main channel that didn't quite make it to the main channel, but they'll be posted on there as well, and a few IRL vlog things. So please, you know, future, I should be thinking about my future and getting a mortgage. You guys should be getting a mortgage as well. But today, we are not talking about mortgages, my young fellas. No, no, no. We are talking about Jake the Viking, the man that used to work for Mr. Beast and apparently back in the day left Mr. Beast's company or empire, whatever you want to call it, and was on good terms. His words, not mine. He even made an entire video talking about why he had left Mr. Beast and how he is so grateful to be in this type of experience, and you only get to be a part of the greatest YouTube channel once in your life. Yet again, his words, not mine. Maybe not word for word, so maybe I shouldn't have said his words, but you know what? Spreading misinformation on the internet is what I do best. So, Jake the Viking has recently been, well, under fire a bit. I'm a bit late to this because, you know, I've been away for 2 weeks because I have a life! Unlike all you other commentary gameplay people who just sit at home and never go on holiday. Your version of holiday is just going down to fucking McDonald's. Jake the Viking has been exposing Mr. Beast for apparently knowing that he worked with a pedophile and hired a pedophile. But the problem is with that is that this is Jake the Viking's brother-in-law, who he actually knew about the charges as well, and he also knew. So that's basically what people are calling him out for. But the video in question where people are like taking the pedo from is the video called "I spent 24 hours straight in an insane asylum," which that is the video where this young gentleman was seen, and a lot of people actually confused him for Jake the Viking because they're just like large fellas with beards. Kind of racist if you ask me, saying they all look the same, but whatever. But someone did call it out on Twitter saying, "So I'm watching the new Mr. Beast video and they keep calling Jake the Viking Delaware. Since I'm from Delaware, I'm curious why you keep calling him Delaware." And Jake the Viking had obviously responded by saying, "They are calling my brother-in-law / manager Delaware, and because that's his name." Well, I'll probably just give you a little spoiler alert now, that actually isn't his name, that's just a nickname. And a lot of people were making the conspiracy saying, is he called Delaware because he wasn't allowed to go back to that place, but that is not true, that's just what they called him. Very strange to call someone that, but whatever. And here we have some of the tweets from Jake the Viking saying, "Jimmy knew, no accountability done, the silence is deafening, it just keeps getting worse." These are some of the tweets where he's basically calling out Mr. Beast for like staying silent on the situation, and because he knew that he had hired a pedophile, which I get this is going to be a bit of a hot take from Wacky here, but hiring a pedophile, knowing that they're a pedophile, wow, that is pretty bad, I must say. But the problem is, Jake also knew, but he isn't taking any accountability himself, and it's his brother-in-law. But apparently this information has been out for a long time that this guy was actually a creep, because back in the day, before Chris Tyson was getting a lot of shit for, you know, being a bit of a questionable person himself, when him and Jake had beef, Chris was actually one of the people to actually leak the information first that this guy was a pedo. We got some tweets here from Chris Tyson saying, "Never asked Jake how he protected his kid or his family from his brother-in-law. Low blow, thought we weren't talking about kids. Who you keep in your company describes a lot about you," which that is definitely true, but that also does go for Mr. Beast as well. But the problem is, Jake the Viking is calling out Mr. Beast for something that he also did. I'd argue he's a little bit more tied in the situation because he is the guy's fucking brother-in-law. And the worst part is, I don't know where Mr. Beast stands of it because he has not given any statement yet, but Jake the Viking actually has been defending this guy. Jake the Viking made a tweet saying, "Here's the truth. Yes, Delaware's my brother-in-law. Yes, he is a registered sex offender." I mean, that is definitely one of the best ways to start a statement when you are describing a defense in any sort of way, you know. If this guy is a registered sex offender, anyone that lives in his area is going to know that he's a registered sex offender. You know, he has to probably knock on people's doors and be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I know you're cooking eggs right now for your little 3-year-old, but you might want to keep him away because I really want to touch him. By the way, I'm a registered sex offender." And the reason I'm saying like a very young age like that, because the age that was leaked of the person that was obviously the victim was between the ages of 0 and 11. I mean, that is... Jesus Christ, we're not even talking about like sexting a minor that is like 15 or 16. We're talking about something like that. We've had so many pedo allegations this year, right? And they're always like 15, 16 and all those lovely numbers. But oh my god, I haven't seen one this low for quite a while. So, you know, well done, Jake the Viking's brother-in-law. You've won Best Pedo Award for 2024. When he was 21, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others of sexual assault when she was 11. Delaware took a plea plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. It's because he's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times. Like I said, that clear up the thing I was saying before. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at Mr. Beast. Do you know, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't even make a difference if you were there before him and you put a good word in, you know, because either way, you knew you were getting... you're basically saying a pedo helped you work with Mr. Beast, alright? And knowing that he was a pedo at the time, that is literally just, like, the most bizarre shit ever. Like, the issue is, like, if you had just shut the fuck up, people can be criticizing you and Mr. Beast equally, because Mr. Beast, apparently, if he knew about this as well, that is just fucking insane. Like, why would you risk that? This guy is the biggest YouTuber on the platform, and hiring a pedophile when your main, like, audience is kids is one of the worst things you could fucking do. And I know that's, like, hot take, working with pedophile bad, but can we stop fucking kids? Like, can we actually have a petition out there? Because it's becoming more frequent now, and I'm actually sensing a bit of issues, you know, with a few people. I don't understand why, like, most YouTubers and, like, other people on the online community, they can't help but fuck kids. I don't know if this is just, like, a thing that is now being normalized, and people are now, they're all, like, uniting together. We got fucking EDP, Dr. Disrespect, and we got fucking many others that are just, like, uniting. Like, do you remember in 2015, there was, like, 1 or 2 pedo allegations a year? Okay, like, 2015, we had Lion Maker, and I remember Alpha Lee had a few of his own as well, but those ones are still, like, I don't even know the itty-bitty details in that, but, like, now we have one every other month, and it's just, I just can't be arsed. Like, what? Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mum, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. But again, this incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017/2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. Delaware was supposed to be a behind-the-scenes manager, but in a couple of videos he was asked to partake because we needed people. He was reluctant, especially in the straight jacket video, because of his charges, and that's why he wore a mask. I do believe Jake the Viking here. I do believe that Mr. Beast knew. I don't know that as a fact, but I believe that Jimmy did know, which Jimmy... Yeah, again, you're going to hear... I know Jimmy is the big fan of the Wacky Is Here YouTube channel, so I know he's watching this right now while eating his dinner, because this is, like, food content, and he is probably thinking, oh, come on, Wacky, don't say what you're about to say. And I'm going to say it, Jimmy, alright? I want you to sit down for this while you're eating your bloody Rice Krispies. But hiring pedo is bad, alright? I've said it. I've said it now. I've said it again. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to have a sip of me cup of tea. Hang on. So, Jake the Viking is pretty much saying, Mr. Beast knew that he hired a pedo and worked with a pedo, but so did I, but let's all attack Jimmy. Woohey! And I got a few people that were arguing with Jake the Viking, where someone just said, dog, your sister married a pedo, and he said, just keep the conversation simple and not get into the important details that Chris decided to leave out. Again, what does that have to do with me? Well, with that logic, what does it have to do with Mr. Beast? You were both working with the same person, knowing that they were a pedo, so to be honest, mate, you're just as fucking bad. So please, just shut the fuck up. It is now embarrassing to tell people that you make YouTube videos, because now they're just going to assume you sleep with kids. So... whatever. I've been Wacky TV, and until next time, just stay safe if you're a child, honestly. If you're watching this video, you shouldn't be anyway if you're a kid, but just fuck it, just go away. Bye.